Hello and welcome. I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on Dungeons and Patterns. It's a role-playing game, originally live action. We've converted it to Elm, and along the way, we've designed several types of puzzles, and each one has its own kind of information it wants to keep track of. Some of it overlaps between the puzzle types, and till now, we've managed that as separate data structures, separate dictionaries that go from the room to some information about the puzzle. We'd like to consolidate the target of those dictionaries into one data structure so it's a room to the puzzle state. And puzzle state has some subset of interesting information for things. And we're going to start doing that process. It's going to take some work. Let's go to the IDE. Okay, so I'll get to model here. All right, so the model right now, you have the current room, the rooms we visited, and then this block in the middle. Each one of these is a dictionary from a room name to some information. Dialog triggers a string, a pattern names a string, array of pattern names, array events, set of strings. Every puzzle type has its own stuff at once. Combo we just did needs the dictionary for combo guesses, but it also needs guesses. Dialog puzzle needs actions and guesses and so on. So the first thing I see is that several of these, well, a couple of these types that use the guesses array, given a room name, they can tell you the pattern name for it. That's really a subset. There's multi-guesses too, which is an array of pattern names. So really a room that has exactly one guess, one pattern right, it could return a one element pattern name, and we'd like to do that. Now, we looked around a little bit. I guess this search is still here. These are the uses of guesses. All right, a few places in the model, a few places in the test, and then the things that use it in the model, like this one, other people call that. Let's see, F7. Okay. Model and view calls something to get the current guess, and so on. It propagates out. And if I just change it in one sweep, I'm going to end up with a lot of places that are sort of like, not quite. I can't change it. How do I say it? I want to make this a safe refactoring where I trust that things are going right. And if I touch 15 places at once, there's just too much room for error. And so what I'm going to do instead is sort of an old technique of implementing things in parallel. So, they've been doing this forever. But the idea is that we're going to write not just to guesses, but we're going to write to multi-guesses even when we have a single guess. And then once we've got everything written to both guesses and multi-guesses, we can peel apart the uses one at a time, or almost one at a time maybe, but pretty close to it, and switch their reading from guesses to multi-guesses. So it gives us a chance to kind of do things piecemeal, set it up in parallel, and then start switching over a step at a time, instead of just switch it over all at once and who knows what happens. All right, so we'll go back to who uses guesses. Okay. And the real thing is there are a couple places where we can see it's being written. Okay. So this one, we build an updated guesses. We take the current room and the current guess and we add it to the model.guesses. And update it here. Okay. So this is a place we can change multi-guesses too. Now, I don't know. Well, there are some tests. Okay, so let's change that. Let's do that first. All right. So I'm going to make another array or dictionary, updated multi-guesses. Well, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to change this name. I'm going to get rid of it at some point, but I'm just going to make it different. Then this one I'm going to use, I want guesses as my real name. So updated guesses is dictionary insert model.current_room array of guess into model.multiGuesses. Oh, I gotta make that an array. Oh, yeah, array of pattern names. Okay, that, and this becomes array.fromList. Oh, there's probably an array.singleton, right? Array. Yeah. I guess from list will do it. Okay, interesting. No singleton. I can initialize one copy of it, but I don't think that'll read right. Okay. Array from list. Let's parenthesize. Okay. So we're just writing it to the multi-guesses just like we did the other. Okay. And we have to actually write it. Multi-guesses equals updated guesses. Okay, so I updated multi-guesses. And I expect my test to pass. Huh. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. That's all right. This is why we want to do small steps. Okay, so what's going on is my expectation had nothing in the multi-guesses. This one now has the one thing. Okay, so let's fix this. And I don't know, in a way it's an example of over specifying, I think. I don't know. You might be considered that. Okay. Let's get this one. Okay, so here we have guesses, but we really want to make multi-guesses, and it's equal to the same thing. Okay. Am I spelling that wrong? Multi-guesses. Oh, maybe I need from dictionary from list. This should be an array. I really don't have a good initialize, do I? Okay, so that's update guess pattern updates. Updates guess when current room has no guesses. Okay, and what that's saying is we got to keep track. Even if they guess wrong, we want to keep track of that fact. All right, and I will hit save. We had 2 failures. We should not have. Update guess pattern updates guess when current room has no guess. That one should be away. Okay, yeah, there's our run. Guess is not correct. Guess is correct. Okay, so let's catch this one. Update guess pattern. Leave solutions alone when guess is not correct. And again, we need the multi-guesses equals this with array.fromList. Wrong answer. And let's get this one. Whoops. Update solved. All right, same thing. Okay, I think these will pass. There we go. All right. So we updated one place. Do I still have the find? Okay, so we updated that one. Let's look at this one. Guess combo pattern, almost the same. So I'm going to do the same rename. Whoops. Updated single guess. We're going to add this. And I'm not sure if you can tell because of the window sizing, but these two methods are very, very similar. They have to be a little different because it's keeping track of combo guesses a little bit, but I'm hoping we can fold these all together when all is said and done. So multi-guesses equals updated guesses. Okay, and then this. Insert the current room with an array from the list of the current guess into model.multiGuesses. Okay. Again, I suspect we're going to have a few breakages. I probably should have checked in after that last one. But let's see. We got, okay, two problems. Okay, well, the problem is we need multi-guesses as well as guesses. This is probably a spacing thing. No. better? Should be one left. Well, I think it's right here. A combo with right guess, knows puzzle is solved. Okay. Answer is decorator. Test passed. All right. So let's make sure our to-do says the right thing. Dialog, use multi-guesses. Right to both. Okay, so right now our data structure has redundant information, but we're going to take care of that next. Okay, let's see. So let's start tracking our progress a little bit. And I think the whole thing is kind of refactor model to use PuzzleState. Not quite a story, but it's what we're trying to do. Okay. Now we want to use the read on these. So anywhere that looks at guess, we want to make sure it looks at multi-guesses instead. Okay. And I think some of this will simplify further once we get that done. Let's see. I guess we're trying to find out who uses guesses still. Okay, so the model.elm. Well, let's go from the bottom. These are the rights, and we've modified it. This one, same deal. But this one, okay. Default guess. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this one, if the idea is you've got this drop down of all the patterns that are used in the dungeon, and there's also one that says I don't know, and that's sort of the default guess, I think. Let's see the usages of this. F7. Current guess in the view, default answer. And where's default answer defined? Yeah, it's answer default from the dungeon. So up here we have answer default. All right. So what we want to do then, well, we're going to get the current room's multi-guesses. Okay. And then, well, I'm gonna make this a let. Let all guesses equal get model multi-guesses in if I think list dot is empty of all guesses, somehow I should be able to make this. Let's try a different one. Let's try list dot add. Is there an add? How do you get to that? Oh, it's array. Really? Get. I think it's just 0 all guesses. Okay. Type int array goes to maybe A. Okay. Yeah. Oh, almost. What's the matter? Required array. Found maybe array. All right, we have these maybe extras. Did I keep them? Yes. Excuse me. Is just I don't want ors, I really want ands. Maybe A goes to array of A. No. And then array.get just one from just array. I guess item 1 is 2. Yeah, I think that's what we want. And then 2. Array.get. The item is just 0 from all guesses. Okay, so that should give us just 2. And maybe with default, there we go. Provides a default. Okay, so yeah, if we get the just the value, this takes into account if all guesses is empty, then it returns nothing. This is not, but then the actual value we get may be a maybe, so we're going to take the default guess. But if you noticed, maybe with default peels off, so the all guesses get gives us a maybe, right? Right, gives us a maybe, because it might not have that many items, say. All right, so I'm going to not argue. I'm just going to try it. Okay. All right. So all guesses tries to find the multi-guesses. If it's a nothing, then this thing returns a nothing. That's the case, second to the bottom case. If the value exists, array.get gives us the maybe, so it should find the name, the 0th entry, the only entry, if it's there. If it's there, it takes it, strips off the just. If it's not there, it gets the default guess. Okay, now what's going on here? State knows guess when current room has one. Okay. Oh, guesses. Okay. We need to add our multi-guesses here. Because recall, we're expecting them in both places now, so this one assumed it. Assumed it would have the multi-guesses. Oops. And let's save and should pass. Okay, now let's check these other ones. Visited. So this one, default value for unknown action. Current action. Oh, that's not current guess. Okay, here's current guess. Oh, I guess in this case has none. We don't have to worry about it because multi-guess doesn't have it either. Non-visited rooms. Okay. Cool. All right. Who else uses guess? Find window. Okay. Current guess. Nope. I hope that saw in the background is not too annoying. Okay. Now, these two, they update guesses, but we don't care about them anymore. Let's just take care of the usages, which is a bunch of tests. Okay. Well, tests are green. Let's see. What are we doing? We're doing the write part. We're doing the read part. Okay. So I'm gonna take my I don't want to say partial credit, but let's lock in this progress. That's the real way to say it. We have things working to some level. They're passing their tests. Now we want to update the tests to make them robust, whichever way is used. Whoops. Oh, I just folded it. Okay, good. Okay, message test. 105. Okay, we just fixed that. We added multi-guesses there. 108. Updates guess when current room already has a guess. Well, let's... Ooh, that will be an interesting one. I'm going to try to swap it over. From list, bracket. Okay, and same thing here. What's going on here? Updates the current guess when the current room already has a guess. Well, I kind of think that would be a better test if I used a different guess there, wouldn't it? Okay, now what I've done here is kind of significant in the sense that I'm not using guesses at all anymore. I'm only using multi-guesses, and the update is supposed to do the right thing. So let's make sure this test update guess pattern when current room already has a guess. Okay, so save that terminal. Oh, I messed up my formatting. Dictionary, close this. Closes the pair. I think I got an extra paren. Okay. All right. Well, that's a good thing. So the test passed. But what I want to do, really, you're updating the current guess. Well, we can't tell if it really got updated because we changed it from observer to observer. And I'm going to change it because one of the things I'm worried about is my multi-guesses. Am I only updating slot 0? Okay, so let's see. Yeah, my suspicion is justified. Okay, so I'm kind of taking... This doesn't pass now. Okay, so... It passed with guesses. All right. Yeah, so I'm going to duplicate this a minute. Let's see if it worked under the old scheme. Guesses equals... guesses equals and this is the original. Okay, now what I'm expecting, well, I'm kind of hoping it complains about multi-guesses on this one, so let's see what happens. All right. 2 tests failed. Update guess pattern when current has guess original failed. Okay, so decorator. Now, if I turn this back to observer, okay, that's the test we originally had that passed. Already has a guess. That's the new one. Okay. So that tells me our code had a bug. At least I think it did. Current room already has a guess. Let's make this observer again. This should pass now. Okay, but let's check this out. Message test. I'm just going to add a little I'll say start with decorator. Hopefully that'll be enough to trigger the right behavior. Okay, so what I've done then is I've made guess pattern use multi-guesses, but doing that revealed to me that it didn't quite work right. There was a problem if you had a one if you'd made a guess and then changed your mind, we don't know if that was working right, or something's fishy. Okay, so continue on. 108. Yeah. 108. Current room already has a guess. Okay, that's the one we wanted to change. 119. We got multi-guesses. 132 has multi-guesses. This one does. That one does. Okay, so I'm good on the message test. Now let's see these. Okay, the state knows the guess when the current room has one. Okay, well, we should make this tolerate multi-guesses. Dictionary from list. This is array.from list. Pattern. Okay, so state knows guess when current room. That should pass. So much for that. Has multiple multi-guess fields. 146. Did I already have that? I did. Okay. Yeah. All right, back to the find. Current room visited guesses. Okay, I want multi-guesses. Let's work on formatting this. Oh, excuse me, just a minute there. All right, so multi-guesses. Dictionary from list current goes to array. From list pattern. All right. And let's go ahead and get this last one. Multi-guesses. All right, and how are the tests? Good. Yep. All right. Now, if we look for guesses, I don't think there should be any. Well, okay. Not true. I think if we deleted guesses, nothing would change. So the places, let's start by deleting the places it updates, which is these two methods. All right, so I'll just comment this out for a moment and comment this one out. So we updated, made things so that it wrote to both guesses and multi-guesses. Then we made everybody look at multi-guesses. And now we're saying we're not going to update single guesses anywhere. Okay, and let's see if that runs. Okay, it did not. All right, that tells us there's somewhere. Oh, no, it does not tell us that. I think what it tells us is all the places. Okay. The problem we're having is now guesses is showing up, but nobody writes to it. Okay, so we can let's tackle this systematically again. Since I changed 2 places, let's just change 1, and hopefully only half the tests fail. Okay, so this time, well, 5 failed, and only 3 fail. Okay, slightly simpler problem. Okay, so update guess pattern updates guess when current room has no guess. Update guess pattern. Okay. Now this, we're going to take the single guesses out. And let's see if I can. Nope. That. Okay, let's see if this makes 2 things fail. Yes. Okay. Take out guesses. And then this one. And it's got guesses as well. Okay. Now, I should pass. Okay. That's all to one side. Let's see. This one no longer writes. Okay. Now, if I try and do the same thing, I'm going to get the other problems. Don't write to guesses. I should get a bunch of complaints. 2 complaints. Combo guess. Okay. Guesses. We'll take that one out. And this one. Alrighty. And I expect to pass. Yeah. Okay, let's push this. All right, we've been going a while, so let's take a 2-minute, maybe 3-minute break, and we'll come back. And I think we're to the point we can remove guesses from the model at this point. I don't think anybody's still using it. So take that break and deal with that. Thanks. Hi, welcome back. All right, so we think guesses is not used anymore. Well, there's still a couple places. All right, this one, okay, it's used there, but this is dead code, so we don't reference this variable. Okay, same thing for this one. All right, and then who are you? Model test 46. Multi-guesses. I don't believe we need this one. Okay, let's do this again. Grow. Okay. It's in the multi-guesses. This should be the same thing in the multi-guesses. And this is in the multi-guesses. Okay, save. are green. Okay. Now, I think we're getting there. Guesses should not be used. Nothing found. All right, let's take it out. Good point. The fourth argument needs to change. Okay, let's see where that is. Model.elm 57. 1, 2, 3, 4. $57. $57. Okay, that could be better. And green. Okay. That's a good place. All right, make dialog read from multi-guesses rather than guesses. And then delete guesses. Okay. So that is green. Let's check it in. I guess I didn't put that comment up here. Delete guesses. Okay. All right. Now I'm feeling like this name could just be guesses, and I'm hoping a rename will just make that work. Guesses. Okay. And we'll save. Save. Okay. And let's look for the word multi-guess. Multi-pattern. Guess multi-pattern. That's probably okay. Okay. So, again, what we see here is all these things are dictionary room name to something. Actions, order guesses. It would be nice combo guesses to a set of strings. I know that dialog trigger is really just a string. Okay, it's just a type alias string. So I think this could, it's kind of the same thing. This could use this. The puzzle I have, and I've never quite resolved it. Our combo guesses, they sometimes want a string and sometimes a set of strings. Sometimes they want a list of strings. But I think like if I rename this to strings, I think I can make progress. All right, let's try that. So I'm trying to genericize this and not say it's only for combo guesses. I'm going to say these are strings. Okay. And then let's look for the words combo guesses in case okay. Let's make those more generic. Array from combo guess. What does that even have to do with this? It's really a combo puzzle is what that is. it's not really, I didn't even use combo guesses in the thing. They're implicit in this model puzzle as a combo puzzle kind of thing. Okay. But everybody's happy. Okay, so what did I just do? It's a refactor, rename combo guesses to strings. Okay, so I'm making it more generic so dialog trigger can work with it. Okay, and I'll put that down here. Well, we can push first. Okay, copy this down. All right, now I want to do the same thing we did with the same thing with the dialog trigger as we did with the guesses, kind of folding them into the multiple guesses. Let's put dialog trigger. Well, let's try string first and see if anything breaks. There's a little ambiguity, I don't know, in the type matching for Elm. It seems like it kind of, like type aliases, they can just mix and match, I guess. Seems weird to me, but that's their way. Okay, so a type alias is just sort of a substitute name. I could call it trigger pattern, I could call it string, I could call it pattern name. It doesn't enforce anything. And part of this is, like, we're using some of these names for keys and things like that. But actions, let's see the usages on that. Okay, so we keep track of them and we get them if you ask me for the current action. All right, so this is very similar to the current guess. It's just sort of a selection of that thing. Okay. And this, we're going to have to do the same kind of folding thing we did before. All right, so the right of it is here, and the read is here, and then some tests are affected. Okay, so the right, let's do what we did before. Let's write to strings as well. Okay, format, actions, and, well, let's put strings here. Strings equals something where actions. Dictionary insert from model.strings. Okay, but it wants a set, not a string. So the action text is really set.singleton action text. And again, let's just read set and make sure it's using that correctly. I don't know how else it would. Singleton, a comparable item set with one value. Okay, so that should be fine. Some complaints, most likely, because we're writing extra stuff. And I think there's only two. Update, and it has actions, but it also has strings. Set to singleton some action. Action updates action when current room already has an action. Okay. Well, that's going to be strings. This is a set singleton. Okay. Springs. Okay, and I have to make my expectation the same. Actions. I don't know if you notice I'm using the reformatter to do the work for me a lot. It can have some syntax errors, but you reformat and it fixes that stuff. Okay. Oops. There we go. So yeah, so we're just making sure both data structures get in there. All right. And let's see actions again. Okay, so references to actions. I think there's some tests maybe yet. Okay, we write it here. We're reading it there. Probably, let's look at the read. Okay, actually, maybe let's look at this test first. I don't think we, okay. State knows where the current action when the current room has one. All right, let's put that in strings. Set. Okay. Should be good. Yep. All right. Now, the get is going to be very similar to, where was that other one? Current guess. Yeah, I'm just going to copy this. And we'll make some analogy here. Okay, just to hold it there. Okay, so we were getting the current room model.actions. Now we're going to get it to strings. So let all strings equal get model current.room model.strings. Okay. In. All right. Now, if we had the actions, maybe with default again. So again, it's going to be very similar to this. All strings. Maybe with default action. Okay. Found maybe array. Oh. Well, how do we get things from a set? I don't want to do to list. I should just have something to grab something from the set. Remove a value. Now you're saying which one. Oh, interesting. Usually there's something that just says, give me an item from the set. I don't care which one. All right. Well, all strings. It's a maybe list. That seems funny. Well, it's a set. We know it's going to be at least an empty set. All right, so there must be some maybe thing that can take this. Okay. It's, well, maybe I can just put it here. Pipe to maybe with default set.empty. And I guess we're going to make it to set.toList. Okay, so we don't need to well, now it's a singleton list, or it's an empty list. List. I think there's a head, right? Yeah, okay. So we can take the head. Well, if we take the head, I guess I can be explicit, list.head. And then I guess maybe with default, I don't need this anymore. I don't need that anymore. So get the strings, make an empty set if nothing else. That makes me wonder if get could do more. Convert it to a list, take the head element, and if there is none, then default the action. Okay, and our tests passed. Okay, now we don't need this little helper. Didn't turn out as similar as I thought. Okay. Oddly. But anyway, tests are passing. So at this point, nobody's looking at the old dialog one. Actions. Okay, so let's see who uses that. Should be some tests. Okay, and anybody who uses this should have both actions and strings. Yep. And yep. Okay, so all these ones now, we don't need them anymore because we're not looking at actions to get stuff. And so there's no point to it. Actions and actions. Okay, so our to-do update, well, rename combo guesses. Did I do that one already? Yeah. Use strings rather than actions. Well, in model, use strings rather than actions, delete actions field. It's not really quite a field, but that's close. Okay, now model. Now, again, we're deleting the third argument, so we should get those same, like line 56 or whatever, complaint. Okay, so save this. Tests. Yeah, there we go, line 56. Okay, so we deleted the third argument, which is a dictionary, and that. Okay. All good. All right. So we've successfully done that. Yep. Okay. All right. So this has two fewer fields. Now we have an array of patterns, an array of ints, a set of ints, strings. That's looking more like what we're after. I mean, we're going to extract these, but I wanted to simplify it as much as I could before we extract it. All right, and then, but I think before we do that, let's figure out this other error. Update guess pattern updates guess when the room already has a guess. Okay, so that's in message test. Current room already has a guess. All right, so that's this. We take the model, the guesses is we've guessed observer. We update our guess observer. And we sure expect it to be observer. All right, so we change this to decorator. Actually, you know what I want to do? I want to run this and see what it's like. Okay, so this is this case. If I go here, oh, let's go to a different room. Okay, I go here. I say it's decorator. I go here. I go back here. Is it still decorator? What's the problem? So when I did the guess single pattern observer, it doesn't change it to observer. All right, so let's change it to observer. I mean, that looks pretty good. Is it still observer? Okay, so that makes me feel like it's a test problem, not let's track this thing through. Guess single pattern. Okay, so guess single pattern pattern name. Here's the update for that. Guess single pattern, guessed answer, and model. So we call update guess single pattern with observer. Okay, so we're going to call this function guess single pattern. Get the puzzle from the current room in the game. Okay. Now this should be a dialog puzzle. Feel like we kind of knew that, but okay. So we guess single pattern, guess dialog puzzle model. problem. Okay, so the new one is we take the current room, we're going to map that to the list of just the guess, which is the one we just got in model.guesses. All right. And then we put that in updated guesses here. Visited rooms. What? Okay, I haven't done a lot of debugging with Elm, so I kind of am resisting it here. Wow. Well, if they're different, it should complain, right? Is the complaint what we'd expect? It came back. I mean, it looks like it came back with the value it got from updating with observer appears to be unchanged. What is this? Guesses? Observer. Order guesses. That's different. Okay. Let's go back to message. Dialog model.guess single pattern. Okay, where's guess single pattern? Guess single pattern should produce a command and a pattern. Model command dot none. Model guess single pattern. Take the model, update the guesses. All right, let's make a smaller byte. Okay, so this is, I'll say TBD. I'm going to take that same starting point. I'm going to say update guess single pattern in message calls guess single pattern with a string and a model. The guessed answer coming in, which should be observer. Okay, so if I call message.guess single, it doesn't expose it. I'm going to have to change that. The string observer, leave out the update, leave out that. Okay. Okay, the TBD Okay, so message.guessSinglePattern, it should be a dialog puzzle. So now we can call model.guessSinglePattern. Model.guessSinglePattern with the guess and the dialog puzzle. And the model. Okay. The dialog puzzle is this. I guess we're going to have to. Model is that in with model. Okay. I don't need this anymore because I'm not getting back the command. Okay. Let model equal game.get required dialog puzzle. Oh, okay. Model, I'm sorry, puzzle then model. Puzzle is that. What is the type here? Type is puzzle. I need to force it to a dialog puzzle. And again, I don't know. It's not a. I guess it's not a maybe. It really is a puzzle. Unwrap default F. What's maybe X? Unwrap, like using a case. Give me a default value, a function, and a maybe. I don't know. I'm paying too much to avoid debugging, I think. I'm going to say take my unwrap. Maybe I should just do the case here. Do I have a default? Of course not. Okay, we'll just make one. Dialog puzzle. Empty list. Pattern name. What? Okay, so I think puzzle should become a dialog puzzle. Guess single pattern observer puzzle model. And it should switch to observer. Okay. $117. Second argument to guess single pattern is not what I expect. Oops. Second argument is not what I expect. Puzzle is a puzzle, but it needs to be a dialog puzzle. Okay, where's my last? Okay, I think I got my junk in. It's all messed up. Okay, I think it's okay though. We got a dialogue puzzle no matter what, so that should be coming back as a dialogue puzzle. Now it says it came back with decorator, as if it were never touched. Okay, model.guess single pattern. Model.guesses. Now there's supposed to be some debug stuff. Let's see if I can find that. ToString. See, I think it prints it to the console, and I don't know if I can see it. I can log. Okay, let's see if we can figure out where this developer console is then. Maybe I'm messing something up there, but log updated guesses. Debug.log. And that's a prefix and then the value. Okay. Oh, they come out here. Why is that a function? Oh, it probably just needs parens. wish I could just run one test. Comes in. Is there a way to run one test? No. This is model.guesses. Model.guesses. Okay, where's my N? Okay, I'm gonna make this stand out a little. N is decorator. Out updated guesses has wrong answer. That seems weird. What? Where the heck is the wrong answer coming from? Oh, okay. The model starts with decorator. We get the puzzle. Hopefully it's this. We don't see any what's. Let's just I think maybe our setup is wrong. Oh, goodness. Okay. What's up with this? Model with visited room is default model. Default model has no dialogues, no puzzles, no games. Has the default game. Let's see the default game. Has a room. Has the map from room to unknown room. Unknown room is no puzzle. Okay. All right. We skipped our break. I'm just going to make a 60-second break just so you can grab a drink or whatever if you need to. But we'll come back and straighten out our setup. I wish I'd looked there sooner. Hi, welcome back. All right, let's see what we can do here. Okay, so it's very hard to be sure which thing is talking and all that. But I think the fact is this model with visited room, okay, basically says it defaults to this room with no puzzle, not a dialog puzzle. So the no puzzle has nothing to do. Let's find message. Guess single pattern. When it's a nothing puzzle, it just returns the model itself. So that's where the model is coming back. All right. I guess what I'm getting to is I have this wish. I would like a helper function. And the helper function is going to let me create a puzzle and well, maybe I don't need it right now, but my idea was I want to give it a model and a puzzle, and I want it to just put the puzzle in the default game, the default room, and an unknown room with a puzzle. But I see I have room with observer puzzle. Do I have a model with observer puzzle? I do. Okay, so model with observer puzzle is a visited room with this observer puzzle. So that's probably what I need to use. Okay, so instead of model with this, let's take model with observer puzzle. Okay, and I already have an observer puzzle in there, so let's just not worry about an existing thing. Oh, is that true? No. Let's give it guesses, but let's make the guess. It starts with no guesses. Okay, we want to give it a guess. Observer's the right answer. Okay, so if we give it the guess decorator and then we update with observer, we expect to be equal to observer. All right, I'm going to take this thing out. We still have some prints. Okay, so model with observer puzzle. I expect this to pass now after all that. Okay. So, okay. Well, solved. Yeah. Okay, let's not guess observer. Let's guess chain of responsibility. Okay. I think it's just extra state about whether I've solved it. I'm not really trying to prove anything about solved, so I'm changing my test to not deal with that. Okay. And notice I'm seeing these things. Wrong answers from a different test. Chain of responsibility and decorator. It's like they're coming in backwards order, isn't it? Updated guesses gets chain of responsibility, but started with guesses. Okay. Now, let's find this thing. We don't need input. I don't need the debug.log. Okay. Test pass. All right. So what did I learn there? Well, I didn't have good setup. This helper function is probably a good idea anyway. So helper to create model with desired puzzle. Okay. I think we have a bunch of tests that could use that, but I'm gonna deal with this first. Oops, terminal get. All right, and let's cut this. Put it down here. Okay, and problem was bad setup. Make combo puzzle, use multi-guesses. I think we probably did. Yes, multi-guesses is guesses, and combo pattern deals with that. Okay, so I think that one's done. All right, now before we go there, I want to see the differences between these two methods. They're so similar. Updated guesses, they do the same thing. Is solved. Dialog puzzle is solved. Combo puzzle is solved. Let's see. Okay. I'm guessing we have identical code in dialog puzzle. Yep. This is where the kind of an inheritance is what I'm used to with OO, and I don't know what to do to make this right. Is solved guess puzzle puzzle.answer. Well, puzzle.answer, that's here. They share, well, they share a field. And the other puzzle types don't have an answer. They have, well, let's see, there's ordering puzzle, order puzzle. Yeah, it checks that you've scrambled the items correctly or unscrambled them. And no puzzle has nothing. And yeah. All right. Let's see. Multi-guess wrongly uses single guess answer to select values. Okay, yeah, we ran across that. Maybe that's a good thing to straighten out before we get this going. Multi-guess uses single answers to select values. It's probably messages. I think I should have made a test case for it. I'm not sure I remember what was the problem. Guess uses single guess answers to select values. Okay, guess multi-pattern. I think if I can remember the problem, maybe that. Let's go back here, here, and here. Okay. Yeah, so what we'd like to have happen is, oh, these things, yeah, they should not all be the same. Okay, so hopefully you saw this one. It sets them all to this chain of responsibility. Then we can change them. Chain composite facade. If I go here and go back, chain, chain, chain. Okay, so there's something going on. I'm pretty sure this did work at some point. So let's see. So it's something about, it's this guess multi-pattern thing, I guess. Okay, so if a multi-pattern guess, you're passing the index, which tells which thing to change, which drop down, and the guess for that instance, and then the model. So we get the puzzle, and it should be an answers puzzle, which has multiple answers. Okay, and then we call guess multi-pattern index guess. Okay, which is pretty complicated. All right, so, and I mentioned before, like, is this arrays or sets, and it gets confusing. Yeah. All right, so guess multi-answers. So how many answers should we have? Well, puzzle is an answers puzzle. It's got the list of answers, and it knows the type. So let's go look at answers puzzle. All it knows is there's a list of answers. Okay, and it can tell us the length. Then we say we want to get the model guesses, and if there is none yet, which should not be possible. Okay, because we always start with an empty list. So, oh no, that can be possible. The current room, maybe we haven't made any of our. We started with an empty dictionary from model current room to model.guesses, but we may have not referenced this room before. Okay, we may not have made any guesses. So if you haven't made any guesses, we come back with multiple answers of just kind of unknowns. Okay, and then we set in that array, whether we fetched it or generated it, we set the index value, set the element at the index, return an updated array. Okay, so that should, ooh, what is that giving us? Okay, look up the thing. If there is none, fake up an array. Otherwise you have one. Now call the set, and that should give us it gives us the guesses for the current room. Okay. And that's cool. All right, now have we solved it? Well, if the updated guesses, if the puzzle likes the updated guesses, which is an array, is solved. Guesses puzzle defined, okay. Then we say, okay, it is solved, so let's keep track of this room as being solved. Otherwise, we'll just use the old model solved. Okay, and then at the end, we insert, let's make sure this one's okay. We insert a key, model current room, a value, updated guesses, into model.guesses. Man, that looks okay to me. All right, let's see. Can we... How do I get three things set? Okay, I'm thinking this is okay on this side, maybe. I mean, that looks okay to me. Of course, it all looked okay to me. But I think, I mean, it seems to only be setting one possible index. All right, so maybe let's look at this again. I set facade. Maybe it's the person that's reading these things. So let's start back at the view. And we want the multi-answer puzzle. Okay. Got the header. We got solved something. Oh, true or false if it's solved. Make multi-answers model puzzle. All right. So if we've got patterns, just patterns. So that's maybe answer puzzle. Patterns is the answer puzzle. Okay. We're going to go through patterns.answers. On input, we'll guess that index. And we'll do make options model. Index. Interesting, we don't need the actual item. So pattern.answers, that, if you recall, is just the list of pattern names, which are strings. Okay. And then make options model. Okay. That's more suspicious to me. So let's go find make options. Current guess. Okay, that's very suspicious to me. Yeah, good reason. All right. So current guess returns a string, and it's only fetching the first item out of the array. Okay, so that's a change we made today. I don't think it should have been using current guess in the first place. In the old way, it was accessing model.guess, which was just the only guess, and that couldn't work. Okay. Now I don't know why. Okay, if I've selected that, this is really mediator. Okay, and abstract factory. Okay, facade, mediator, abstract factory. If I go away and I come back, it really does get rid of it. Okay. View. Yeah, I just don't know if I've... Okay, let's go to show puzzle. Combo puzzle, no, answers puzzle. Multi-answers. Class solved. Where's that? Make multi-answers. Yeah. Okay, so this item... Let's go to make options. All right, I'm gonna duplicate that for now. Make multi-answers is calling make options, but I think that's just wrong. Okay, I'm going to make up a new function for a moment. Okay, shouldn't change anything. Model. Okay, two options looks usable. All right, let's take the item and we're going to pass it here too. And this thing then needs a string. Well, it's a pattern name. Oh, the order could be better there, couldn't it? Well, this is really the current guess. Let's run this. Well, why didn't it have, I don't know. Okay. Somehow I'm getting the answers instead of the questions. All right. Let's leave off here. Oh, that is the answers. Yes. Good point. So okay, it's view, make multi-options. Let's see, let's move this up. View, make multi-options needs to get current guess from the model, not the game. Okay, we will leave it off there. Um, I don't. I'm just going to add tests. I'm not sure how we want to test that, but anyway. So multi-options needs to get the guess from the model, not the game. Okay, so this needs to be a guess, not the pattern name. All right. Maybe it needs to be. Maybe we need the index or something. Okay, but let's stop there. I'm gonna have time again tomorrow and Friday. So 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern time. We'll pick up here. I expect we'll get through this, dealing with the zero index on that thing, and then we can try and flip over this puzzle state. And I think once we do that, some things will start falling out. I feel like there's still a lot of duplication across the view stuff in particular, but there's some stuff in the model too. Okay, I really would like to fold these combo and regular guesses together. They don't, all these, they're not quite, there's just too much similarity. Okay, but anyway, we'll pick up there tomorrow. And thanks for joining me today, and I hope to catch you again in the future. Take care. Bye-bye.